How do you get started on Etsy? Most new sellers ask this. I hear this all the time, and more times than not, it's overcomplicated and it's harder than it actually is. So today I want to give you 5 easy to follow steps on how to get started on Etsy. Let's go. All right, everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Glad to be back with you guys, hanging out, talking about Etsy, talking about handmade, talking about e-commerce, all that good stuff. I am your host, LL. I have a great episode, especially for new Etsy sellers or people that are thinking about selling on Etsy. Maybe you just started your Etsy shop, uh, and even if you've been doing it for some time, maybe this is a good way to recalibrate. Today, I want to dive into one of the most common questions I get, which is how to get started on Etsy. What are the most important parts of getting started? What do I need to keep in mind? What do I need to do? What are the steps I need to follow? And I want to simplify this for you. A lot of people overcomplicate this, and I'm going to break it down into 5 easy to follow steps that anyone can do and follow. Before we get started, I have something that goes really well with this episode for you guys. It's my quick start guide. It goes over a lot of these things in more depth. It's a free download. You guys can get that at handmadeandbeyond.com/quick start. Again, it pairs nicely with this episode like a fine wine. All right, let's go. Let's dive into the first step. The first thing that you have to consider when you're opening your shop is, of course, your niche. And a lot of people don't give this enough thought. What are you going to be, what category are you going to be selling in? Who is your audience? Who are you going to be selling to? Who's going to be buying your stuff? So you have to think about those things before you can ever move into actually putting something up for sale. And the main thing to consider with your niche and what you're going to be selling is, what are you passionate about and or skilled with? Skills can be learned, passion cannot, and that is going to sustain you when times get tough, when your shop isn't performing the way that you want it to perform, which most new shops don't perform the way that we want it to perform. It's delayed gratification. I always say that. So what are you passionate about? What do you like doing? What do you like creating? What do you like building? What do you like doing? That is, again, going to keep you and push you through the hard times. And then if you already know how to do it, if you're already skilled, that is a bonus. But again, skills can be learned. For me, I like designing, I liked creating, I like putting designs together, and I wanted to start a clothing line. I wanted to start a clothing company, but I had no idea how to screen print. I taught myself over the course of several months how to screen print, what was going to be needed, what I needed to buy, and then I bought the things, and then through trial and error, got better and better and better. I had no idea how to do that skill before I started actually just getting my feet wet and doing it. Most trades, most skills can be learned, if you put in the time, energy, and work. So what are you passionate about and or skilled with? That is a great place to start. A lot of people do it for just money, fly by night, want to make a quick buck. Those shops close down in a couple of weeks, a couple of days, a couple of months because they have no passion for what they're doing. They're just trying to throw some mud on the wall and make some quick money, which it's never going to be like that. It's never going to work. It's never quick money. This is actual work. It's not get rich quick or something like that. You got to put in the actual work. The next thing that you have to do is do some research based on your niche that you're thinking about doing. What is the profit margin going to be? Is it going to be enough profit margin considering, okay, what is it going to cost for me to make this stuff? And then considering the fees and all that stuff, what is going to be left on the bone for me? If my profit margin is going to be at 5 to 10%, based on my research, based on my market research, what people are selling the item for, it's not worth it. Why even get into that niche? Find something else. You need a niche that's at least 30 to 50% profit margin. Again, you need that meat on the bone so you can do sales and promotions in case there's increases. Inflation's running rampant. Everything's more expensive now. So you have to account for that. If your business is already running so thin on a profit margin, there's no wiggle room. You're going to fail. So consider that with your research. That's why doing market research is important. You can use tools such as Alora to do market research on other shops, other sellers out there, what they're selling products for. And then you can reverse engineer, okay, they're selling candles. I want to sell candles. What do I need to buy to make this candle? How much is the stuff? How much is the wax? How much is the shipping materials? Reverse engineer it so you can be like, okay, I can sell them for this and still make 40% profit margin. Worst case, prices increase, it drops to 30%. That's still a good amount of meat on the bone for me. So do the work up front. It's going to be really important, so you don't get into so far down the road. And you're like, oh crap, I messed up. There's not enough profit here, I see this all the time. On message boards and stuff like that. Etsy takes too many fees. I'm not making any money. Well, what is your profit margin? Guaranteed, your profit margin is so low that the 6.5% fee that Etsy's taking, if that's crushing you, there's obviously some more fees in there, but if the round it all together, if 10% in fees, which is common on any platform, some are more than that. If that's crushing your business, then you did not set your business up well enough to start with as far as your profit margin. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to get off my soapbox. So that is your niche. Those are the things to consider with your niche. Next important part is, of course, your products based on your niche and your research that you've done. What are you going to sell? And think in terms of a product line. Don't think in terms of one-off products. It's hard to be successful with one-off products. That's why gift type shops struggle, because they have one of 100 different things. So the algorithm doesn't know what you specialize in. It doesn't know what traffic to send to you. It's better off to have a product line. You can have different things, but have product lines. Have 10, 15, 20 of the same type of product that are different variations, different subject matters, things like that, but it's still a similar product. That's going to help the algorithm recognize you as a player in the space, send that traffic your way, and make it a little bit easier to get traffic, get found, and then ultimately get sales. So consider that when you're coming up with your products. The next step is step 3, and that is going to be your branding. Some people put this first and they overthink this part. The branding is nowhere near as important as doing your niche research or doing your product research. But it is still important for kind of your long-term vision, your long-term plan, staying on course. So branding, of course, is your name, which your name, when you go to set up your Etsy shop, your name may be taken. So keep that in mind. And you're going to have to do that research. If your name's taken, go and see what that other shop, if their shop is still open, are they a big player in the space? You may just want to change your name altogether then. If their shop's not even open, or they're not selling anything, then you can abbreviate your name. If it's Susie's Crafts, you can change it. You can be like Susie's Craft Co. or Susie's Crafts, or take out the A and kind of take out some of the vowels to abbreviate it. The name really doesn't matter within Etsy, because your brand name can still be your full name. So you may have to kind of tweak your name where it's not taken, to fit it in with Etsy. But it's not a deal breaker if your name's taken. The sky hasn't fallen. Either, like I said, abbreviate your name, tweak it slightly different, or change it altogether. But look at that other name that's out there and just make sure, because down the road, if you want to grow, if you have dreams of grandeur, which it's fine, I shouldn't laugh. I mean, if you want to have your own website and do do your own huge brand, that other company, that other name, if it's the same exact name, you could run into problems down the road. Is that going to happen more time? 9 times out of 10, no. But just do the extra legwork up front just to make sure. The next part of this is your logo. Your logo needs to be kind of simple. Don't overthink your logo. Think about big box store logos. You can create a logo in canva.com for free. It's easy. They have templates in there. Or you can hire someone on fiverr.com to create one for you for like 20, 30 bucks. Don't overthink it. A lot of people put their busy logos. There's a background. It's crazy. You can't even see it. Should be simple, clean, white background. It can have your company name in there, or it can be initials, whatever you want to do with your logo. But think of big box stores, like I said, like Target, Walmart, Apple. Those are recognizable logos, easy to see from far away or easy to see when they're smaller. So keep it simple. The next and last part of your branding is your color scheme. Think of 3 to 4 colors that you want as your color scheme, and that should kind of transcend throughout your materials, through your pictures, through your logo, through your banner image, through the stuff that you're doing. Having a color scheme will just make your life a lot easier. There's color palettes to select from in Canva again. That'll make it easier. You can search online for brand color palettes where they'll do like 3 or 4 colors together. Find a color palette that you like, and then that's what you work from, and that's where your designs come from. Especially if you're going to start posting on social media, everything should be cohesive as far as your colors. Don't use a wide range of different colors where it looks like a crayon box. That'll drive people crazy. So it has to be cohesive looking. All right, once you get past your branding, the next part of this is going to be opening your shop. So a couple of things that you'll need, but Etsy walks you through this step by step. You just follow the instructions of opening your shop, but it's going to ask you for a bank account. This is how you pay Etsy for the fees and stuff. It's going to ask you for a credit card, or I'm sorry, the bank account is how they deposit the money that you're hopefully going to make, and then the credit card is how they take out the fees. If the balance doesn't cover if you don't have a positive balance, they will charge your credit card. Hopefully, you start making money, and they won't charge your credit card. They'll just take it out of the payment account. But you will still need to input those 2 things. You'll need your name, which I already talked about. You'll need your personal information, your address. If you're an individual seller, you'll have to put your social in. If you have an LLC, then you'll put your EIN number in, however you want to do it. You don't need to start with an EIN, so don't worry about that. You can be a sole proprietor, social security number seller. That's totally fine. So that information you just go through step by step, fill out that information, and that is step 4. And step 5 is going to be your listings. And this is part of opening too, because before you can fill out all your shop sections, which part of the opening you need to go back and do, but Etsy, for whatever reason, I think it's still arranged like this. Before you can fill out your shop sections, you need to put up one listing, and you may not be completely ready to put up that one listing. And if you're not ready to put up that one listing, you can do a demo listing, just throw something up. They'll charge you 20 cents as part of the listing fee. So you can you throw up that listing, you move past that. Then once you get to the next step of your shop sections, you can go ahead and deactivate that listing for now, because obviously you don't want a bogus listing up. Deactivate it, work on your shop sections, which are really important for SEO and completeness of your shop. And then you go back and do work on that listing and your additional listings. So that brings us to step 5. Is going to be your listings, and this is where you'll need to make sure you have your pictures done, as many pictures as possible, every angle, the product in its space being used. A video of the product is also good, will help you. The products, the information about the products, the shipping information, weight, the size. You will need the descriptions ready to go, which you can write yourself or use AI to write for you. Again, there's ChatGPT, there's Allura, which has AI in there to help write your descriptions. A lot of different resources for you. And then your keywords, of course, are the most important part of your listings. Doing that keyword research, which at the beginning, researching your niche, some of that that you will have come across as keywords, to help see which keywords are selling, I'm bringing in traffic, and those are related to products, but they're also keywords. So you will use those keywords that you're finding in your research to help you when it comes to SEO, search engine optimization, basically how you get found. So you can use, again, Allura is one platform that I usually use. There's other ones out there. There's eRank, there's Marmalade, there's Sales Samurai. There's a ton of them out there now. I prefer Allura to get from my keyword research to see which keywords I'm putting in my listings, title, tags, also your descriptions matter. Which keywords you're putting in there to have the best chance of getting found. That's the most important part of your listing. So do that research when you're putting up your listings. Spend your time. The more you do it, the better you're going to be. You're going to, it's like riding a bike. You're going to stumble at first, and you're going to refine it. And if you're selling a lot of the similar type stuff, you're going to learn which are the best keywords, and you're just going to start arranging them a little bit differently when you're setting up your listings to try and kind of hit the nail on the head and get the optimal setup of keywords so you can get the most traffic and hopefully the most sales. But it's one of those things you got to keep playing around with it. Don't overcomplicate it. Pump your listings through full of high quality keywords. That's the most important part. But those are the 5 steps, the main 5 steps of getting started. Obviously, there's a lot that comes after that, a lot of refinement and other things, other strategies and tactics that you can employ to find success sooner. But this is how you get out of the gate. This is how you start racing that horse towards the finish line. So number one is your niche, 2 is your products, 3 is branding, 4 is open your shop, and 5 is your listing. So if you're on the fence, hopefully that helps you get off the fence, take action, get started. You'll learn. You're not going to know everything, but how you learn is by doing, getting, getting this thing started, so then you can work on refining it and learning more as you go down the road. Again, download the quick start guide. It'll help you as well with a lot of these components. Get that at handmadeandbeyond.com/quick start. That's all I got for this episode. Have an amazing rest of your day. Be back soon with another great episode for you guys.